Chou concert tickets sold out in 5 minutes, scalping concerns raised. Champion Building Materials executives investigated for embezzlement and tax evasion. Lawmakers debate adding more national holidays. South Korea warns it can send arms to Ukraine. India says enough after fake bomb threats. Woman rescued after getting trapped in crevice for 7 hours. BMW recalls cars in China on fire safety risk. Hoard of 1,000-year-old coins unearthed in fields sells for $5.6 million.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Thursday, October 24th, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan news, tickets for Chou's concert went on sale at noon yesterday, with 150,000 tickets selling out in just 5 minutes. Scalpers have already listed tickets for as much as $62,000 NT, despite official prices being capped at $6,800 NT. Lawmakers questioned Minister of Culture Li Yuan about the issues, with Li admitting it's a challenging problem, but pledging active efforts to address it. The new Taipei District Prosecutor's Office has detained the wife of Champion Building Materials chairperson on charges of embezzlement and tax evasion. The chairman has been released on $3 million bail. Investigators searched multiple locations and brought in 6 individuals for questioning as part of the probe. Lawmakers from both parties proposed elevating holiday regulations to law, increasing the number of public holidays. During a hearing, DPP caucus whip Wu Siyao cautioned against populism, while KMT legislators proposed reinstating 7 holidays and adding events like Indigenous Peoples Day and 823 Artillery Day. And in global news, South Korea warned Tuesday that it could consider supplying weapons to Ukraine in response to North Korea allegedly dispatching troops to Russia, though both North Korea and Russia have denied the claims. NATO's Secretary General stated that such actions would mark a significant escalation. South Korean officials are concerned that Russia may reward North Korea by providing it with advanced weapons technologies that could enhance the North's nuclear and missile programs, which target South Korea.
In an emergency National Security Council meeting, top South Korean officials condemned North Korea's alleged dispatch of troops as a grave security threat to South Korea and the international community. South Korea's presidential office said in a statement that they described North Korea as a criminal group that forces its youth to serve as Russian mercenaries in an unjustifiable war. The officials agreed to take phased countermeasures, linking the level of their responses to progress in Russian-North Korean military cooperation. Possible steps include diplomatic, economic, and military options, with South Korea potentially considering sending both defensive and offensive weapons to Ukraine.
India has vowed to punish those responsible for hoax bomb threats that disrupted dozens of flights in recent days, resulting in huge financial losses for airlines and hours of delays for passengers, with some flights even being escorted by fighter jets. More than 90 flights from Indian airports have received bomb threats in just over a week, including about 50 on Saturday and Sunday alone. Though the threats were mainly targeted and directed at Indian-based airlines, they also affected international carriers as well as flights to the United States and other overseas destinations.
The false threats, most of which were made on social media platforms such as X, has sent regulators scrambling for solutions. However, it remains largely unclear who is behind the threats or what the motive is. Authorities have made one arrest but dismissed the possibility of a larger conspiracy. Bomb threats against airlines are taken especially seriously in India, which was shaken by a series of bombings and hijackings from the 1970s to the 1990s. The 1999 hijacking of Indian Airlines Flight 814, while en route from Kathmandu to Delhi, lasted 8 days and resulted in the release of several terrorists in Indian custody in exchange for the passengers and crew members, who were being held in Afghanistan by that time.
A woman was rescued after spending 7 long hours wedged upside down in a crevice between two boulders while trying to retrieve her phone in Australia's Hunter Valley. The New South Wales Ambulance Service said the woman slipped into a 10-foot crevice between two boulders this month and ended up hanging upside down by her feet, unable to get out. Her friends attempted to free her but were unsuccessful. After she had been hanging upside down for over an hour, they called 000, Australia's emergency call number.
NSW Ambulance shared photos showing the woman's bare feet sticking out between the small gap in the boulders, with first responders removing the giant rocks to reach her. NSW Ambulance Specialist Rescue Paramedic Peter Watts said he had never encountered a job quite like this in his 10 years as a rescue paramedic. The Australian Broadcasting Corp identified the woman as Matilda Campbell, 23, and reported that she remained calm and cooperative despite her ordeal. In total, crews had to remove 7 boulders weighing between 80 and 500 kilograms. The woman was finally freed after being stuck for 7 hours, and she emerged with just minor scratches and bruises.
BMW AG is recalling nearly 700,000 vehicles in China due to coolant pump defects, a fresh setback for the German car maker that's reeling from other vehicle faults. The fault was detected in August, and BMW alerted the Chinese authorities as it investigated. BMW will recall cars produced locally and also imported vehicles from March 1st, 2025. Faulty coolant pump plugs fitted to some models may lead to corrosion or rust, which could cause short circuits and, in extreme cases, fires. Models affected include locally made 3 Series and 5 Series vehicles, as well as several imported X Series SUVs.
The recall follows a steep drop in deliveries in China, its biggest market by revenue. In the third quarter, shipments of BMW and Mini brand cars in China slumped by 30%. The sharpest drop in more than 4 years. In September, BMW issued a profit warning due to a global recall of 1.5 million cars related to defective braking systems supplied by Continental AG. Those faults are expected to cost the automaker nearly $1.1 billion to fix. The relevant repairs should take around 3 hours, and vehicles in Europe aren't affected. BMW said in a separate statement on Saturday that the planned recall requires some newly added components and will start in March next year.
In a farmer's field in southwest England, Adam Staples and 6 friends found a hoard of more than 2,500 silver coins that had lain in the ground for almost 1,000 years. Valued at £4.3 million and now bound for a museum, they will help shed light on the turbulent aftermath of the Norman conquest of England. Staples said the first one was a William the Conqueror coin, £1,000 and £1,500 in value, where the hoard will go on display in November. An expert committee sets a value on each find, with the money divided between the landowner and the finders.
The hoard, discovered in 2019 and recently acquired by the Southwest Heritage Trust, totaled 2,584 silver pennies minted between 1066 and 1068. Michael Lewis, head of the Portable Antiquities Scheme, a government-funded project that records archaeological discoveries made by the public, said it is one of the most spectacular discoveries of recent years, especially because its story is yet to be fully unraveled. Lewis said the coin hoard will help deepen understanding of the most famous date in English history, 1066, the year William, Duke of Normandy, defeated King Harold at the Battle of Hastings, replacing England's Saxon monarchs with Norman French rulers.
The answer for yesterday was B, patrol. The police patrol the streets every night to ensure safety in the neighborhood. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of woman rescued after getting trapped in crevice for 7 hours. Number 1, wedge, 是卡住潜入. The door was wedged shut and we couldn't open it without using force. Number 2, crevice, 裂缝，狭窄的裂口. The lizard disappeared into a crevice between the rocks. Number 3, paramedic, 急救医疗人员，救护人员. The paramedic quickly arrived at the scene and began treating the injured. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comments section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I will see you next time.